Heyho, this is Struckner, and today we are going to talk about the mechanics of the reworked Scions Keep raid boss, the Corrupted Conqueror. First off, we are going to talk about his basic rotation. First off, he will use a double swipe towards the tank and follow up this one with a double back swipe opposed to the tank. He will then use either a ground slam attack or an upward slash. After that, he will use a simple thrust attack. Then, 10 seconds after engage, he will interrupt his basic rotation for his first special pattern, the Sword Rain. The Sword Rain occurs, as I said, 10 seconds after engage, followed up by 45 seconds every time. The boss will launch his weapon into the air to unleash a barrage of multiple AoEs upon the ground. Those AoEs deal moderate damage and daze upon impact. He has 4 total patterns, which may differ every time. He will then return to his basic rotation and finish this one with either a quintuple spin attack or a triple cross attack. Once he hits 96%, the boss will start his mechanics. The first thing you will notice are those 6 orbs around the boss. Those are the spirit orbs. They will play an important role later on in his mechanics. At the same time, 2 adds will spawn, always opposed to each other. The silver one is the range add, while the orange one is the melee add. The boss will also throw 2 Dark Pulse orbs towards the 2 furthest persons. Those orbs leave behind a field, which will kill everybody that stands inside it for about 2 seconds. Hence why it's important to have at least 2 people bait them away from the party. This one is the second special pattern. Although a lot of you know about it already, I will talk about it anyway. This one is a sword dance. The sword dance consists of the boss whirling around his weapon, creating a shield, then sending out a shockwave, followed up by 3 additional shockwaves. All those shockwaves deal massive amounts of damage, but in case of the second, third and fourth shockwave, they also inflict King Fist as a debuff. This debuff lasts permanently, and it will kill you instantly if you get 2 stacks of it. Hence why it's important to iframe every shockwave and every sword dance, as you want to avoid getting even a single stack of sword dance. The sword dance occurs about 25 seconds after engage, followed up by 45 seconds every time. It's important to have someone on each add baiting it and tanking it, because otherwise the adds will start to attack the tank of the Conqueror. Right now there are a lot of things going on here. The first thing you will notice is this blue circle around the melee add. This circle will push you back instantly, so you gotta be quite careful when approaching it. Additionally, the boss will start a part of the mechanics called downfall, or in rather common terms, conduct. The downfall mechanic consists of 3 of those orbs lighting up, creating some sort of energy circle around them. After about 5 seconds, they will then send out a chain lightning to a nearby person, conducting it. This chain lightning needs to be conducted towards the boss. How is this done? We can do this by having 2 people designated to each orb, one person at like 9.8 meters to 10 meters, and the second one at around 2 meters, and wait for the lightning to happen. The reason we are doing this is because the boss is about to charge up a wipe attack. So that can only be interrupted by successfully conducting all 3 chain lightnings towards him. As for the ads, both ads have an enrage timer of about 50 seconds. We want to make sure to kill them in time because otherwise they will wipe us. But additionally, we want to make sure that we kill them at the same time as well. The reason for this will be explained later on. Once you get the last hit on the ad, you will receive a marker below your character and inside your buff gauge. This marker will allow you to drag along the white iron star that is about to spawn from the corpse of the ad. Once both iron stars have spawned, they will create a blue laser in between them. This laser will deal heavy mechanical damage towards the boss, will also damage everybody standing inside it, and will also destroy every spirit orb once they touch it. In order to destroy all the spirit orbs and to keep the laser inside the boss, we want to walk in a clockwise motion around the boss. Once the timer has run out, you will notice a countdown above the white iron star. Once the timer runs out, the iron star will explode, disrupting the blue laser. The explosion is supposed to kill everybody that is not resisting it or iframing it. I say supposed because at the time this video is uploaded, this doesn't work at the moment, but it will probably be fixed later on. The reason we killed the ads at the same time is because we wanted to maximize the uptime of the laser in order to be able to destroy all the spirit orbs and to maximize the mechanical damage towards the boss. This right now is the last part of the mechanic. the boss is trying to absorb all the remaining spirit orbs. Each orb that he absorbs will heal him for 10%, and once he absorbs at least 2 orbs, he will enrage and wipe the party. Once the mechanics ended, he will immediately start them anew. Right now it's a little bit more visible. As you can see, for the conduct or the downfall mechanic, we have one person standing nearby the orb to get the chain lightning, and the other one standing near the boss to conduct it towards him. If all three are conducted, the boss will be interrupted in his attack. As you might have noticed, I've slowed down my DPS towards the end a little bit. The reason for that is that the range ad has still a lot of HP left, and we want to maximize the uptime of the laser. You have two choices when you have destroyed all the spirit orbs. Either you stay in position to keep the laser still, or you keep moving. But it's important that you come to terms with the other driver. On average, you need to play this mechanic about 3 times before you hit the new threshold, which is 45%. If the boss is somewhere near 50%, you can theoretically stay in position, as the blue laser will burn the remaining HP until 45%. Be careful, however, to make sure that the conduct went through before you hit 45, as you might otherwise get still wiped. As soon as you hit 45%, each mechanic from the prior phase will vanish instantly and the new phase is about to start. The boss will target the closest player, granting him a buff that grants in return the threat of the boss. This should be ideally your tank, as otherwise any other person might have a hard time dealing with him. The core mechanic revolves around those 6 iron stars surrounding the boss. They will connect to each other via a red laser with different patterns at times. Those lasers won't deal any mechanical damage towards the boss. However, they will still burn you alive if you stand inside them. They will then start to move in a clockwise motion until they've turned a 180 degree. Just as before, ads will continuously spawn throughout the phase, but unlike before, they are not restricted to the mechanic, they are restricted by time. They will spawn each minute, regardless of you killing them in time or not, so you gotta make sure that you kill them really quick in order to keep up with their spawn rate. Once the connection breaks between the iron stars, the new and the next step of the mechanics is about to happen, the iron star explosion. The iron star explosion is initiated by the boss itself, and it will cause all 6 of the iron stars to explode. If they if they manage to explode, they will deal damage to everybody in the room, and on top of that, inflict everybody with the debuff Rupture. Rupture will decrease your total HP by 80%, set Warden's Resilience to 0, and kill you if you get 2 stacks or more. So you want to prevent those iron stars from exploding. How are you going to do that? Very simple. You assign one person to each iron star, and once they are about to explode, you simply CC them. This will interrupt the explosion and keep you safe. Once the iron stars have been CC'd, they will reconfigure and form a new pattern and start moving again. Just as before, killing the ads will force a white iron star to spawn. Those again will create a blue laser which deals damage to the boss. Unlike before, however, we don't need to move since there are no orbs that need to be destroyed. The drivers in this phase have a rather difficult job to do because they need to constantly iframe the lasers while killing the ads and move around. In this case, we have another problem since on my position there's the range ad spawning while on the other driver's position the melee ad is spawning. So we communicated with each other and come to terms that I take over the range ad and she is taking over the melee ad in order to save time. In very dire situations, the people that are assigned a tank, an ad, can take over a CC on a nearby Iron Star. As you can see on the right side, there's an Iron Star nearby. If there was someone missing, which isn't the case right now, I could take over and CC it if needed. Just as before, once he met 20%, all mechanics of the prior phase will vanish, and he will start new mechanics. Then again, he will summon help, making 2 ads spawn again. But additionally, he will now use a new mechanic which I like to call Destructive Overload. This one is very similar to the Downfall mechanic, with the difference that there are no conducts nearby to be able to interrupt it. The solution for this now is to simply CC him in order to interrupt his wipe attack. The boss will jump occasionally at a random player. So this might end up the boss jumping from ad to ad, which might be a little bit challenging for a lot of people. What's important, however, is that there are enough people near the boss in order to see him when the destructive overload is happening. You can either pull the laser inside the boss in order to deal additional mechanical damage, or you can rather play it safe and keep the laser away from the party at all. The choice is yours. Once the iron stars have exploded, you can simply go to the boss, attack him for a little bit, heal yourself, or do something else until the next set of ads are spawning. And with that, this was the Conqueror, the Science Keep raid boss. I hope you enjoyed it and that this guide will help you in successfully killing them. And see you next time.